You prayed for him not casually, not out of loneliness, but with intention. You went before God with specifics. You asked for a man who would love him, lead you, honor you, and walk in truth. You believed that prayer mattered. You trusted God heard you. And then someone showed up, and at first, it felt like the answer, like maybe this was him. But slowly, something didn't sit right. It wasn't peace, it was confusion. It wasn't clarity, it was mixed signals. And now you're left asking, God, I prayed for him. So why does this feel so off? Let's talk. Not emotionally, not based on assumptions, but truthfully, biblically, clearly. Because just because you prayed for something does not mean everything that looks like it came from God. Reason 1. A woman of God learns the difference between what she prayed for and what she projected. This is where many get misled, because what shows up doesn't look completely wrong. It looks almost right. He says the right things. He seems aligned at first. He carries pieces of what you asked God for. But resemblance is not confirmation. Sometimes, you're not seeing him clearly. You're seeing him through the lens of your prayer. You start filling in the gaps. You assume intentions. You imagine potential. And slowly, you begin responding to a version of him that doesn't fully exist. But Scripture warns us clearly. Jeremiah 17:9 says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it?" A woman of God chooses honesty early, because what you refuse to name, you cannot govern. Reason 2. She refuses to turn potential into promise. This is where emotional attachment quietly begins. You don't fall for who he is. You fall for who he could be. He just needs time. He'll grow. He's not there yet. And while that may sound patient, it can also keep you stuck, because it ties your heart to a future version of someone that hasn't shown up in reality. Potential is not a foundation. You cannot build something stable on what someone might become. God shows truth in the present, not just possibility in the future. Galatians 6:5 says, "For each one should carry their own load." A woman of God understands she is not called to fix, carry, or complete a man. That is God's role. Reason 3. She pays attention to fruit, not just words. Words are easy. They can be said without consistency. Anyone can talk about God. Anyone can speak with intention. Anyone can sound right. But fruit tells the real story. It shows up in patterns, in discipline, in consistency over time. Jesus said in Matthew 7:16, "You will recognize them by their fruits," because what someone produces regularly reveals who they truly are. Words can create hope, but fruit confirms truth. So instead of listening only to what he says, watch how he lives. Because if the fruit is inconsistent, unclear, or missing, that's not something to ignore. That's something to discern. Reason 4. She refuses to chase what God didn't confirm. This is where many lose clarity, because when God is quiet, we try to fill the silence. We text again. We initiate more. We try to figure it out. We look for reassurance God never gave. But silence is not confusion. Sometimes, it's instruction to pause. Isaiah 30:21 says, "Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it.'" Because when God leads, he is not unclear. You may not know everything, but what he shows does not create chaos. And if you feel like you have to push, force, or hold something together, you need to ask honestly, did God start this? Because what God initiates, he sustains. And what he sustains brings peace, not pressure. Reason 5. She discerns whether the connection is feeding her spirit or draining it. This requires honesty, because not everything that feels good is good for you. Attraction can exist without alignment. Chemistry can exist without direction. So you have to look deeper. Since he entered your life, are you closer to God or more distracted? Do you feel peace or constant anxiety? Are you growing spiritually or slowly compromising to keep the connection? Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Because anything that pulls you away from God's presence was never sent to lead you closer to it. And sometimes, it doesn't happen loudly. it happens slowly. Less prayer, less clarity, more emotional dependence, until one day you realize your focus has shifted. And a woman of God notices that shift, not with fear, but with wisdom. So if you prayed for him, but something feels off, don't ignore it. Don't explain it away. Pause. Be honest. Not about what you hoped, but about what is real. Because your peace matters. Your clarity matters. Your walk with God matters. And anything that threatens that, no matter how right it looks, is not worth holding on to. Choose truth. Choose peace. Choose God, even when it means letting go.